Good morning. My name is Evan Smith. I'm the pastor at Second Presbyterian Church here in downtown Stanton, and I'm coming to you today for your daily Lenten devotional. Today we're going to be talking about forgiveness, and we're looking at this passage, classic passage and parable that goes with it from Matthew 18, beginning at verse 21. Then Peter came and said to him, that is Jesus, "Lord, if another member of the church sins against me, how often should I forgive? As many as 7 times?" Jesus said to him, "Not 7 times, but I tell you, 77 times. For this reason, the kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who wished to settle accounts with his slaves. When he began the reckoning, one who owed him 10,000 talents was brought to him. And as he could not pay, his Lord ordered him to be sold together with his wife and children and all his possessions, and payment to be made. So the slave fell on his knees before him, saying, 'Have patience with me, and I will pay you everything.' And out of pity for him, the Lord of that slave released him and forgave him the debt. But that same slave, as he went out, came upon one of his fellow slaves who owed him 100 denarii. And seizing him by the throat, he said, 'Pay what you owe.' Then his fellow slave fell down and pleaded with him, 'Have patience with me, and I will pay you.' But he refused. Then he went and threw him into prison until he would pay the debt. But his fellow slaves saw what had happened. When his fellow slaves saw what had happened, they were greatly distressed, and they went and reported to their Lord all that had taken place. Then his Lord summoned him and said to him, 'You wicked slave, I forgave you all that debt because you pleaded with me. Should you not have had mercy on your fellow slave as I had mercy on you?' And in anger his Lord handed him over to be tortured until he would pay his entire debt. So my heavenly Father will also do to every one of you if you do not forgive your brother or your sister from your heart." So Peter comes up to Jesus and he asks, if someone else sins against me, how often, how many times do I have to forgive them? Up to 7 times? Now, Peter, as the leader of the group, he's probably kind of actually trying to show off to the others. Maybe he's trying to lead the way. But the law required that you forgave people 3 times. 3. Now, even that's actually better than what our society teaches. Think about that saying that we have: "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me." I mean, really, that's kind of a story about forgiveness. And we're saying in our society, you get one shot. You mess up once and you're done. I just don't think I can trust you anymore. I don't think you're anybody I want to work with. And yet the law said 3 times, which seems like so much more. And look what Peter's doing. Peter's like, "Hey, look, guys, look how great I am. I want to more than double it. Hey, Jesus, how about 7 times?" And I bet he was feeling pretty good, like 7. That's incredible, right? And Jesus says, no, not 7, but 77. And some translations actually say 70 times 7, so that'd be 490. The point is limitless. Forgiveness is limitless. And to prove this concept, Jesus tells this story. And basically, the whole idea, the king, he's got a slave owes him some money, slave can't pay, begs him to forgive him, king does. But then that same slave doesn't show the same sort of compassion over what's a much smaller amount with the fellow slave. And Jesus is basically saying that's what it's like for us. If we want God to forgive us, we have to be willing to forgive our brothers and sisters when they do things to us. Forgiveness is so at the core of what it means to be a follower of Jesus, that Jesus holds out this example, and he doesn't mince words. If we don't forgive others, then we can't expect God to forgive us. Now, that doesn't mean that forgiveness is easy. It does, however, mean that it's necessary. And so when we are struggling to forgive, what we need to do is to come to God and ask for that strength. God, give me the strength to forgive. God, give me the strength to let go. God, bring healing and wholeness into my heart and into my life so that I can do this. Because Jesus knew this truth, and I know you've heard it before, but I'm going to say it again, that holding on to a grudge is like drinking poison, but expecting the other person to die. Holding on to a lack of forgiveness has a way of corrupting the heart, corrupting the character, preventing love, not just for that one person, but in all aspects of our lives. And Jesus knew this, which is part of why he teaches this central truth that we have to continue to forgive others. And so I challenge you today to search in your heart, is there anyone that you need to forgive? Is there anyone that you've been holding a grudge against? And if so, take that to God and ask God for the strength to let go and to forgive. Because it's critical. It's critical to growing in the Spirit and growing in love for God. And that is your word for today. Thanks a lot for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please click the like button, maybe even share it on your own page. Thanks a lot. Have a great day and goodbye.